Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. We're on to question 11 and 12 of the Acer Green booklet. So let's get started. This is a quote and a cartoon. Now, just a word about cartoons. People tend to think that cartoons are easy and so they can answer them in 10 seconds and then move on and it will be fine. Now, in some cases, like in this case, the answers are quite easy, so that's great. You can get some extra time for those harder questions, but don't automatically assume a cartoon is going to be easy, because sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're very complicated and you need to spend a lot of time thinking of them. Remember, you have like a minute and a half to 2 minutes, depending, I don't know what they're doing these days with timing, for every question. So you have time to look at a cartoon and analyze it thoroughly. Don't just see a cartoon and be like, oh, easy mark, move on, because that may not always be the case. Okay, so question 11 says the statement of Stefan Grelet is, so his quote is at the top, and it's always good to sort of rewrite or rethink the quote in your head. So basically what this quote says is, always do good things when you can, because you won't get a second chance to do the good thing. And so that is a spur to action, which is A. And the specific phrase is, let me not defer or neglect it. He's literally saying, do good things when you can, do it. That is a spur to action, because you may not be able to get to do it again. So yes, hopefully that's pretty easy. And also, if you come across a question like this and you're like, oh, it's instantly A, just go with it. Don't try and like overthink it and be like, oh no, that was too easy, it must be wrong. Just take it. If it pops out to you, take it. This one was very obvious, so tick A and move on. Okay, question 2 addresses the statement in the cartoon, but you also have to look at the cartoon itself. So the question is, the statement of the speaker in the cartoon expresses. So the speaker is the man. Hopefully you knew that. He doesn't have a speech bubble coming out of his mouth, but it should be pretty obvious that it's him. Okay, and so the answer is D, and I'll just tell you how I got to that. So B and C are wrong. B is a negative view of the future, and C is satisfaction with the present. Well, hopefully you can look at the picture and tell that he's not satisfied with the present. And then a negative view of the future, it doesn't like specifically state that, so that's why they're wrong. The other one you might have gone for is A, which is a positive view of the future. And you may think he has a positive view of the future because he's saying, we shall pass this way once. But there's actually no evidence that the future will be positive. So yes, that they're only going to pass this way, like in that current situation, once. But we have no idea what's going to happen. Maybe life will get better for them. Maybe life will get worse. We don't know. And so that's why we can't say A, because we just don't have enough information to say that the future will be positive. All he's saying is that all he's discussing is the present, really, in this quote. And so D, dissatisfaction with the present. So he's come on and he says, I have good news, and the good news is that we will never be back here again. So that shows dissatisfaction with the present. So that was kind of a tricky one. That was one of the more tricky ones I felt, because A and D are very similar. But you just really need to look for the evidence and say, if I just saw that quote, what would the answer be? And didn't bring anything else into it. Okay, join me in the next video. We will do questions 13 to 17, which is some of the more difficult ones.